Hello, hello. I am live on Instagram. Okay, so today I wanted to have a chat with one of my favorite client, friend, person, artist, creative, to talk about membership, talk about the photography membership that I have. So I think I need you to request my dear friend Becky. Here we go. I'm just waiting for the connection. Okay. Accept. I accepted. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay, I'm just gonna turn my volume up a little bit. There
Yeah.
we go. Hi.
Hi. You look beautiful.
How do you? I think you have a little bit of red in your hair or
I
something.
know. It's less red than when I actually got it, so but I like it better now. It's like yeah, I
It
like
looks
it.
gorgeous.
Thank you. Thanks. Okay, so people are like, what are they doing live on Instagram? On what day is it? Wednesday.
Wednesday.
uh,
Yep.
you know what? I was thinking of doing those YouTube interviews of like talking about creativity with like women in my life. And then I was like, you know what? This is like so complicated and I might as well just do it on Instagram. So yeah, I wanted to chat with you about so many different things. um, Creativity. I want to talk about the membership that you were part of, my
Hmm.
photography membership, and then what you're doing right now. So yeah, if you so first I'm going to introduce myself because I don't know if people who might watch this on your
Hmm.
channel might not know who I am. So I'm Emily Igioti. I'm a portrait and branding photographer in Edmonton. I photograph mostly women, but I specialize in portraits, branding. I help entrepreneurs, artists, creatives create the images that they need to promote their business, to share what they're doing. So, and I work with you. I call you Becky. Do you like Becky or Rebecca more?
No, Becky's fine. It's so
Okay,
hard. It's so complicated because I go by Rebecca legally, so all of my legal stuff. But like Becky, yeah, Becky's
right?
good
Okay,
on
for
here.
me, you're
Yeah.
Becky, and sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like, oh yeah, Rebecca. So, and I work with you for my membership. So you were one of my membership clients. So now let's introduce who you are and what you do.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Rebecca Canup. I'm a poet and writer. And I actually was in healthcare for, well, I don't know, almost 20 years.
Oh,
And
wow.
I just quit my healthcare job in 2021, like right after the pandemic basically started. And I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna create. Like I've always wanted to create. I had that in my bones to create. But I always felt a little like there was no platform, there was no place for me, there was no like offering that I could bring to the table. I just didn't know myself in that way. So now I feel like I'm more established. 3 years into this career, and it's like there's so much more to it than I ever thought there would be. And so yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah. So now can you do you call yourself an artist, a poet? Yeah, like what is your main title? Even if this is not really like what defines you, you're like so many other things. But yeah, do you want to talk about like the books that you created and all the things?
Sure, yeah. It's funny because when I first started to, like, I've been writing forever, but when I first started to be like, I'm going to be a writer, and I was like, what does that mean? Like, what am I going to do with this? How do you make this lucrative as well, right?
Yeah,
How do you make it into something that you can survive
yeah,
off of, you can live off of, and you can thrive, right?
yeah,
And so being a poet and writer for me was really about first of all, finding my voice. Like first and foremost, it was like, how am I going to get my writing out there? What's my message? What do I want to say? You know,
Mm,
I knew I had a draw
yeah.
to do it. I just didn't know who my audience was. I didn't know what I really wanted to say. And so I think getting really clear and clean about that message first was like number
Yeah.
one. And then I wrote a book, and it kind of took off after that. It was like writing a book, and then other people wanted to know how to do it. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just create a mentorship program. And then something that really sort of formed out of it was what's called the Writers Room, which is like my women's only writing group. It's something that I've been doing for 2 years, and I have a whole community of beautiful women that I've met
Mm,
from this, yeah, from it. And so you know, meeting you, Emily, actually, I have to say, was one of the biggest inspirations to start something like that. Because when I first met you, it was like I was just starting and I didn't know myself. And, you know, being behind your lens, you know, I don't know if people know, I did Emily's mentorship program for 2 years, 2 full years. And then we also did, I think, I don't know, a few
like a
months
few,
of,
yeah, yeah, just
yeah, yeah, a
random
few
shoots. Yeah.
random photo shoots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and so like that really helped me come to terms with who I am as a person, and not just as like a writer, but as a woman too. I think your mentorship program really helped me see myself in different ways, like as a creator, as a woman, as sexy, as elegant, as you know, like you've captured me in so many different, like some of my favorite photos that you captured me as. I'm like,
Aw,
whoa, but I didn't see myself like that before. So
right.
that's really helped me as well to kind of create my brand, right? Like
Yeah.
it's all kind of intertwined, as you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to talk about like the first shoot that we did. I think it was in my old studio, and I want to say it was 2021, but
Hmm.
time is a construct. So I think it was. And I remember you just started your journey as a writer, because I think you were still actually working in healthcare, because we were talking about that. And then yeah, it was so fascinating, like going back. I went back to like all of our photo shoots and seeing the evolution, and like,
Hmm.
you know, you starting as a very almost like shy, or like, yeah, I'm a writer and this is who I am, and
Yeah.
then becoming this, like, you know, poet and author, and having like a program with other writers that you coach, and it's like, oh my god, like, and so you becoming a mother, and
Hmm.
like uh traveling and all the things. So it was so beautiful to just go back to all the photo shoots and everything. um and everything was different, and we can see the evolution of the person. So I think this is why I really love working with people on like
Hmm.
a year basis and more. Like if people love it, I mean, I'm always like, yeah, if we are aligned, our creativity and, you know, our values align. I love working with people because we can really see the progress and the evolution, and it's not just like a one-time photo shoot, which is also fine sometimes, but it's different, like, you know, when you really get to know the person. And yeah, so I wanted to talk about like the creativity, but also the photo shoots, because I feel
Hmm.
this is something that you and I were really like, it worked really well, because sometimes I love that you were just up for anything with me. I'd be like, hey, what, regardless of like, maybe it's a backdrop that I want to use, and you're like, yeah, why not? Or like a location that I was like, oh my God, I found this location. You want to shoot there? But I also love that you brought your own ideas during the membership, like the writers' room photo shoot that we did at
Hmm.
that, I forgot the name of that bar.
I think it's Teddy's. Was it
Teddy's,
Teddy's?
Teddy's in
Yeah.
Edmonton. If anyone
Hmm.
knows Teddy's in Edmonton, they have an amazing upstairs room where we did your writers' room photo shoot to promote your mentorship. And I must say, I just showed up to this photo shoot. I loved, you hired a stylist, our friend
Hmm.
Lindsay, a makeup artist, but I love that you really brought your idea, your inspiration to this photo shoot, and just said, this is what I see for my mentorship, and that idea behind like the writer's room, like something dark, like a men's
Mm-hmm.
club, boys club, but it's like actually now it's a woman's club. So can you talk more about this? And like, how did you come up with this idea? And how do you come up with creativity in general? Like, what inspires you when you're writing?
Oh God, so many different
I
things,
know.
Emily. That's such a loaded question. I have to say, I felt inspired and maybe a little bit more open to trying new things because I felt so comfortable with you in the studio and at the different locations we shot at. And I feel like when you vibe with somebody, it really allows creativity to sort of flow. You know, that shoot you were just talking about with Lindsay Mills and Ruth Bancroft. She was the makeup artist. I know you guys do a lot of collaborating together. You know, it just kind of all flowed and came together, and everybody kind of brought their own little piece. You know, all was like 25% Emily, 25% Becky, 25% Ruth, and 25% Lindsay, and like that just works. I really love collaborating because I feel like everybody brings a little piece to the table.
Yes,
As far as like the dark, moody, you know, I have to say, Emily, at the time, like 2021 feels like forever
I
ago. It feels like a lifetime.
know.
At the time, it was very difficult to find anybody that would shoot like that.
Right.
And that's what really drew me to you was your artistic eye and your ability to see beyond just maybe the standard of photography. You know, I know that you love portrait and you love different types of moods and lighting. And
Yeah.
for me, that's what I was really drawn to. I was like, I have to shoot with Emily because, you know, there was just so much we could do. But you're right, I came in really shy and like,
Yes,
what do I do? You know, as you do when you don't know what you're doing.
of course.
But yeah, I think I'm also drawn to those types of artistic viewpoints and lenses. And I really wanted a photographer and set designer and makeup artist to kind of really get it. You know what I mean? To kind of really know the inspiration behind the boys club, behind offering something that's beyond what we normally see. And just something for women that's like you're allowed to be masculine, you're allowed to be whatever you want. It doesn't have to look floral. You know, I think when we look at women writers,
Yeah.
there's lots of floral, there's lots of white, there's lots of
Yeah.
sitting behind a big desk with a white laptop. And I'm just like, that's not me. And I'd love to give a space for other artists and creatives to write whatever they want. If they want to write fluffy,
Yeah.
write fluffy. If they
Yeah.
want to write dark. And I think so that, you know, coupled with the branding
Mm,
stuff is really important because then people understand, people know what they're, well, this is like a little different. This is a little unique. I get to play a little bit in here.
yeah.
And that's important to me to offer that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's you touch a point that I absolutely want to talk about, and it's just so like I don't know if I keep repeating this idea, but I feel like sometimes people must be tired of hearing it. But I'm like, I'm just going to keep repeating it. It's like you're branding what you're saying and what you put out there. It actually extremely important, and I know it sounds like oh, like I'm like preaching my own, choir. And I'm like, yeah, actually I am. But also I do believe in it. And I saw
Mm-hmm.
that with your photos. Like sometimes we would go for something very, very romantic, like very not I don't want to say dark because it's like moody, but still
Mm-hmm.
very full of emotions. And it really worked well with what you were writing, or like sometimes maybe the shoot will be a little bit like lighter and it's like a different season of your your writing and your life. So I love that the membership, like the photo shoots really were following your
Mm-hmm.
journey and not just being like okay, this is this is what I'm shooting, and whatever, I don't care what you're going through. It was really a way of like matching your branding with whatever was going on in your business
Yes.
journey, personal journey. So yeah, I really love talking about branding, but the authentic part of branding. And I think this
Mm-hmm.
is what also people really resonate with you is that you what you're saying, what you're like writing and talking about, like this is really you. Like nobody like meets you in real life and be like, oh, she's a different person.
Yeah.
Like it's you. And it's so this is something that I really advocate for. I always tell people, okay,
Hmm.
we need to find, okay, what do you want to say, what do you want to talk about on your in your branding, on your social media, on your newsletter, your website, like what is your
Hmm.
message? Because I think there's a lot, like you said, a lot of like generic kind of like messaging
Hmm.
out there. So I love that every time we were like planning a shoot, there was something very unique and
Unique.
authentic with
Yeah.
you. Like it was like, well, this is what I'm doing. Like the even the shoot that we did in the like we did so many shoots. I'm kind of like, oh, which one was that?
Hmm.
uh,
The one I'm thinking, the one Lindsay, when she put all the pages
oh my
from
god,
strings hanging from, like, what a beautiful shoot.
yes,
And, I feel like I've never been able to just artistically be like a part of a shoot before.
yeah,
Like, how do you feel? What do you want to create? There was so much of like talking
mm,
beforehand about what we wanted the vibe to be, the tone,
yes,
special things. Like that was just one example, but like even we bring in like typewriters and like all different kinds of clothes from your closet
yes,
and different like carpets and pieces from your beautiful studio. So there was so much that we could work with, and I feel like it doesn't matter, like you could be an artist, you could be a business person, like there's so many different ways that you could be authentic in your branding. It doesn't just have to look one way. And I think that gets lost in translation a lot of the time. You see on
mhm,
Instagram kind of like the same thing over and over again. And I always feel like, even if you're a real estate agent, like I want to
yeah,
see a part of who you are.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Not just what
absolutely.
you're selling, but I want to see you as a person.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. And this is what I really I've been really pushing with my clients is like, yeah, I can, of course, let's do a shoot, but it's like, okay, we need to bring your own personal touch to it. We need to really, people need to know who you are. If you're funny, if you're like super
Hmm.
like an alive person and you're like joking a lot, like I want the photos to show that. I'm sorry, but it's like if I have a good time with you at the photo shoot, it's like I want to be able to capture this and for you to share those photos because this is what people are going to connect with and this is what people are going to love and appreciate. So I just wanted to come back to something that you said and now I forgot
Yeah.
my us. my thought. My brain is like buzzing with like so many ideas. But oh yeah, the photo shoot with the pages and the projector and all of the things. Can
Hmm.
you talk about like because I think this is something that people are scared of, especially like I'm a
Hmm.
photographer. I'm up for anything when it comes to photography. Like you're like, hey, do you want to like stand on whatever or like shoot half naked kind of I'll be like, yeah, for the art, I'll do it.
Hmm.
But can
Yeah.
you talk from the perspective of a client, to trust, work with a team or photographer and trust something that is a little bit out of the box? Because I feel like a lot of people are really scared to
Hmm.
really do something different, if that makes sense. I feel like everyone wants to just do a crazy photo shoot, but then your brain is like, yeah, but people are not going to like that.
Hmm.
How are your clients going to receive this?
Hmm.
um what people are going to say if you're like standing on a, I don't even know, like I'm trying to think of something crazy, but I'm like, I don't know. Because for me this is not crazy because
Hmm.
I'm like, creativity is like whatever. If you want to do a photo shoot with a gigantic gown, lying on the floor, I'm like, yes,
You're
why
in.
not?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So can you talk about like from the client's perspective, like to really get out of your own maybe comfort zone, like with photo shoots and trying things new?
You know what? As a writer, I kind of came at this all at the same time because I started my writing journey as I met you and as we started doing shoots together. And so it was kind of like I really had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And by that, I don't mean uncomfortable with you. I just mean uncomfortable with people seeing
Yeah.
like my creative side,
Mm.
whether that was words or pictures of myself.
Yeah.
I just had to get comfortable with the fact that, like, okay, maybe someone won't like this, and I don't care. Like you have to really push through that. I will say it does help to have someone like you who creates that comfort and creates that safety at a shoot because I have done like a boudoir. I have done those types of things and I've left feeling unsafe, icky,
Mm.
like it didn't come across in the photos like how I wanted it because I was still in my head and anxiety. And so I do, I would always recommend Emily, you, just in general, feeling safe at a shoot,
Mhm.
I think is number one. And I always felt safe to just be like, let's do it, let's go there. And so when you say like you were always up for it, I'm like, it's because I felt like I could be. It's
Mhm.
because I didn't feel judgment. I didn't feel, like I was going to be unsafe in any way. I knew that this was confidential and private and my feelings were considered. So all of that, I think is one piece of it. And the next piece is like, if you really want this, you have to do it. Like get out of your comfort zone because no one's going to do it for you.
Yeah.
And so with writing and branding, and I've learned so much about all this stuff over the last few years. Like if you're stuck in I can't do that because I'm
Mm.
not an entrepreneur or I don't know enough about it, it's all learning.
Mm.
Like we're all learning as we go. And some people are further ahead than I am, and some people are a little bit behind. And that's like everyone has their own journey when it comes to being an entrepreneur, when it comes to branding, when it comes to photo shoots or putting your work out there. And so like I really just had to push past that in my writing and in my shoots and be like, this is what I want. Like I had to really take a deep look and be like, what do I want for myself? Like forget about all the noise, my
Yeah.
family members, my friends, because they were all like, what are you doing?
I know.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing
What
this
is this?
for? Yeah.
Why are you
And I'm
doing
like,
this? Ah,
this is for me, and like
yes.
this is my future, and this is like making a name for myself. And honestly,
Mm.
I wanted to feel
Yeah.
pretty. I wanted to feel sexy. I wanted to feel romantic and
Mm.
poetic, and I
Yeah.
felt it inside, but I was like, I want everyone else to see that part of me.
Right.
That was
Oh,
really
I love
important
that.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that because you're right. It's like it's that dichotomy between what I want to feel, what I want the images to show,
Hmm.
and then it's like your brain or like your programming gets in the way of like, oh yeah, but people might not going to like this. But it's like, yeah, but you just do whatever you want to do.
Hmm.
I know, and I'm a big like I'm a Leo, so I'm like, you go for it, girl.
You are. You're
So
very
I'm the
encouraging.
fire. Yeah, yes, and but also I love that you talk about safety because I want to talk a little bit about this. This is
Hmm.
absolutely like my number one priority, and I want to mention that I will never force someone to like do something that they're like
No.
not comfortable with or like an outfit, and they're like, oh, I don't know, I don't really feel. I'm like, oh, just yeah, just change it, throw it away or
Hmm.
whatever. Like, let's move on, and this is something that I talk about with my team. It's like I like the client is the main priority, and
Hmm.
the the person has to feel safe, has to feel confident. But safe is really the word because it's I always talk about the I talk with you about that like the body mind, like
Hmm.
kind of like posing, and how when you are posing and if you are aware of your body, it's going to kind of like show up on your face. Like let's say you are uncomfortable, so I do a lot of like reading when I'm shooting, like I can see if the person is uncomfortable. But
Right.
so I tell people, if I'm posing you and you don't feel comfortable, like you can it's okay to change or say, oh, I don't really feel like doing this, or change your body,
Hmm.
or it's just a pose. And I feel this is something that it's really every shoot I tell people, I'm posing you, but again, it's like you are in charge. Like this is for you.
Hmm.
I'm not like, what is the point of like posing you or like making you wear an outfit and then you kind of like, oh, I hate this, and it's kind of like you're never going to use the photos after that. So
Oh.
I feel like it's good to remind people to find the balance. Like you, of course, like go for anything and try new things, but also it's okay to just be like, you know what, I don't really love this outfit, or I don't, my body don't feel doesn't feel good right now in this
Hmm.
pose, or no, I don't want to shoot at that location. This is what I want to do. Like it's really like advocating for yourself and like kind of
Yes.
like knowing what you want because this is your branding. um so yeah, and also like I always tell people like I like also have fun. Like a photo shoot
Yes.
is supposed
Yeah.
to be fun.
Yes. Yeah. We laughed
Oh,
so much, and I'm like, I'm so sorry for laughing. And you're like, no,
oh my
like
god.
it's part of it. You want to have fun and you want to lighten up and you want to enjoy yourself. Like, you are investing in it. You are
Yeah,
investing in yourself. And if you're like all rigid and serious all the time,
yeah,
like I do a lot of moody
yeah.
stuff. You've shot me
Oh,
in a lot of moody different ways, and we always end up laughing
I
and
know.
having fun.
Yeah,
And like it, but that's a good thing because it makes me feel
yeah,
comfortable. It makes me feel safe. It makes me feel heard. And then it makes me feel like I can go even deeper, or
yeah,
like I can give even more, or oh, I that just popped into my head something fun and creative to do.
yeah,
So I think that it's like a big part of it, and I think you have the ability to make feel people feel all these different things at one time, which is like warmth and safety, and being able to be like, let's get a little bit creative. You
mhm,
get to choose. You're
yeah,
the one that's like, I'm the photographer, and I will help you, I'll guide you there,
mhm,
but you get to make the choice of what you do in the shoot. And I think that's like something I had never like really felt before. And I
yeah,
think that's like, as an artist, I think that's important. Being able to have a little bit of say in your
yeah,
shoots. You're not just coming in and being like, do this, this, and this. Like, yes, you're giving suggestions of how
yeah,
to pose, and what, you could see from your creative lens, what angle looks good or what
yeah,
you want to convey through the camera. But like that person is the one that, like you said, they have to have live with the photos after.
mhm,
And the last thing you want is someone being like, I don't like these photos, so I'm not going to use them. Like you want to see your work being used and loved.
yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My favorite, my best compliment is to see people using the photos that I took of them as their profile picture, and it's like that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I love that you talk about like yeah the collaboration, right? It's like, and that's why again that was my goal for the membership. It was to create a program, a long-term program that is like a real collaboration between myself and the client, because like more than anyone else, like a year so many things can change,
Hmm.
and it's
Hmm.
like you want to be in a team. Like we are a team when we're working together for a year. We do 4 photo shoots a year
Hmm.
together. Like we are a team, and if you don't feel comfortable as the client to be like, hey, I like this is what I want to do for the next shoot. Like I want to like change things a little bit, or like I want to go a little bit moodier. Like if you don't feel comfortable with your photographer to say that, that is a red flag. Like you should
Yeah.
be able to really be talk about what's going on. Maybe things are changing, you're launching a new project and you're writing a new book and you're going a different direction. Like your photographer should be on your team and should be able to be like, yeah, oh my god, absolutely, let's brainstorm ideas, and let's talk about that. Like what are we going to do for the next shoot, and offer support for different things, like stylists, makeup artists.
Hmm.
Like I always try to really help people with things, because again, it's like you are focusing on your project, on your business. You don't necessarily know like all the vendors out there. So and I think this is really like the beauty, I would say, of collaboration, is that we all kind of
Hmm.
like get together and like get you like those like amazing images that it's like,
Hmm.
and it's like I love taking them, but I'm like, but I love that the people are using those photos.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You want them to use your photos. You want
Yeah.
them to be happy with the photo shoot. There's a photo shoot we did last year. We've done so many that are so nice, but
Yes.
I said I want to do a fall photo shoot, and
Yeah.
you were like, okay, bring your stuff. You had clothes for me to wear too, And you location scouted. You know, we went to that really beautiful house with like the red
Yes.
leaves. And like
Yeah.
I still look at those pictures and I'm like, these are stunning. Like Amber did my makeup, like really red lips, and
Yeah.
everything was just like colorful and vibrant. And I don't usually have very colorful photos, but I was like, oh, I'm even though it was like different from my
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
branding shoots, it was one of my favorite shoots because it was so beautiful. And I'm like, I can't wait for fall
I
to
know,
like use those, you know,
right?
like
And I like just to tell people like this photo shoot. I think we kind of like also wing it at the last minute, if I can remember.
we did. Yeah, we did.
Because you were like, oh my God, I want to do something for fun. And I was like, okay. And I was like, oh my God, I just drove by this location. So again, it's like because we have been working together for so long, we
Hmm.
have this like comfort level of like, I can just like throw a random location at you and you're gonna be like, yeah, absolutely. But it was like a little house in a back alley. Do you know how
Yeah, the
many
back
times we had to
alley.
stop because cars were just like driving by?
Well,
And but you're
when you
like,
look at the photo, you wouldn't
yes,
know that because it was so beautiful, look picturesque and isolated.
yeah, exactly. And and I had clothes because you were like, oh my God, I don't have time to shop. I think you were moving or you were like
Mm.
traveling. So we're like, I don't have a lot. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, don't worry. I have so many things. Here's a trench coat. Here's whatever. I don't
Hmm.
even remember. But it's like, this is what I love to do. I just love to kind of like, you know, like, brainstorm together and like
Hmm.
create something. You have an idea, I come with another idea, and we're like, yeah, let's try this. And it's like, and you know what, it works. And I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know, I'm trying to, sometimes it doesn't work. I'm like, usually it works. Because I'm,
Honestly, I don't think I've ever had a branding shoot with you where I haven't felt like it's been exactly what I wanted, even if I didn't know what I wanted. It's exactly what I wanted after. I'm like,
aw,
Emily nailed it. Only because like I know that you're very creative, and so like you see things like colors and sets and things in back alleys of, you know, like middle of nowhere.
yeah,
And I think it takes a very keen eye to see those types of things. You can, okay, you just know where to stop and end it with a picture and you're like, this is perfect. So framing, and you have
yeah,
all of that. But it's also like you said, you providing things like, I'm like, okay, I have nothing to wear. Okay, I got you, we'll figure it out, like,
yeah,
you know. And Lindsay's brought stuff to the studio,
yeah.
and you know, so like it's, I don't know, you call you guys the dream team because
Yeah.
that's what I feel like you are.
Yeah, it stayed. This is our group chat name, by the way. Now it
Is
has been the dream team since then.
I love it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I love it. Okay, so I mean, I talk so many, I have so many things to talk about, but I don't want to like keep you forever. And yeah, I just want to kind of like finish with what you're doing right now. What is your next move? What are you excited about?
So I say we, as in like me and the girls,
Yes.
me and the ladies, are starting season 5 of the Writers Room August 19th, and I do have 3 more spots left if anybody is interested
Yeah.
in coming in. If you've ever thought about writing, you don't have to be a writer already or a professional writer. It's really about finding your voice and self-expression. So, you know, if you want little bit more information about it, you can definitely DM me
Yeah.
or look on my Instagram or Facebook handle and get some more info. And then also, I'm finally publishing my 3rd book, which I've been trying to publish for the last year.
Yes.
But you know, Emily, you know,
Yeah.
we moved to the States, and there's back and
Yeah.
forth happening right now between here and Canada, and it's like there's a lot happening. So, you know, publishing a book in between all of that, plus having 2 kids, is like
Yes. I
it's a
bet.
lot. Yeah.
Chaos.
So look for that in the fall as well. So
Amazing.
yes, be good.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. And yes, I think I can save this live. Yes, I'm pretty sure I can.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you
Anyway, I
can.
will save this live. I will post it on my profile. If anyone, yes, even if you're not a writer, just check out the writer's room. Even if I feel like if you are a hobbyist, someone who just loves to write,
Mm-hmm.
like I love to
Mm-hmm.
write, I feel like this is something that it's such a great program. Also, I love the idea of like being in a group with other people because you know you can
Yes.
listen to what they are writing and you can like get feedback. So I think this is a brilliant idea. So I love that. And I'm really
Thank you.
excited about your new book.
Thank you.
Do you have, no, don't tell me the title yet. It's like,
I do. I announced the title last year. It's called Little Wild Thoughts.
oh, ooh, I love that. Okay.
Spicy.
Oh,
We may have to do a shoot, Emily. We may have to do a
I know.
shoot.
I'm
I'll have
like,
to figure that out.
let me
Hmm.
brainstorm some ideas already. I love that. But yeah, I adore you. Thank you very much for chatting with me.
Thank you,
You're one of my
Emily.
favorite people to, work with. You're
Me
a
too.
dream. You're the dream client. I'm the dream team, but you're the dream client.
Yes.
And yes, I will see you soon, and I hope you have a great day. Okay? Yeah. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Emily.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.